Is the Obama administration trying to delegitimize certain American companies? One congressman says yes, and a recent Senate hearing targeted Illinois-based manufacturer Caterpillar proves it, he says. Illinois Congressman Aaron Schock joins us now. Congressman, thanks for coming on this morning.
Good morning, Tucker.
So apart from Google, which is, of course, beloved by this administration and Democratic politicians everywhere, a lot of American companies seem to have come under attack or undue scrutiny from the Obama people. Tell me what's going on with Caterpillar.
Well, let's start with some facts. First of all, Caterpillar is one of the great American success stories. 7 out of 10 tractors that they build here in the U.S. With U.S. labor, 7 out of 10 of their tractors are sold in other countries. So the largest percentage of what they make here is exported. They have 180,000 employees that work for Caterpillar Corporation, and their effective tax rate, in other words, the net tax rate that they pay to the U.S. government for having the privilege of being headquartered here anywhere in the world, is 29%. You compare that with the Government Accountability Office's GAO's report, which said the average U.S. corporation pays 12% of their net earnings to the U.S. Federal Treasury. So then you ask yourself, well, why is Senator Levin, why is the Obama administration going after a company like Caterpillar, suggesting that somehow they've misused the tax code to lower their threshold? It's simply outrageous. And what I've asked Senator Levin and many of my Democratic colleagues who've joined in this inquisition is better your time spent on helping make America competitive with our tax code, because right now we have the dubious distinction of having the highest corporate tax rate in the entire world. So if we want more companies like Caterpillar and others around the world to invest here, to stay here, to continue to employ people here, we need to get our tax code more compliant and more consistent with other countries around the world.
Well, here's a case where the reality is so far from the rhetoric. You often hear this president attack specifically ExxonMobil, the biggest oil company, for the giveaways it receives from the taxpayer, supposedly. Turns out, let's put this up, ExxonMobil is the largest taxpayer in the country, $31 billion on a net income of $45 billion. That's a pretty steep rate. You wouldn't know that, would you, listening to this administration?
Well, and of course, let's talk about their favorite child. I don't mean to make their week any worse than it already was, but General Motors, who, in addition to receiving a federal bailout of U.S. taxpayer dollars, last year their effective tax rate to the U.S. government was 0%. So Senator Levin, who hails from Michigan, might better spend his time looking at loopholes in the tax code and companies that haven't paid their fair share by looking at some companies in his home state. So you're exactly right. The president clearly goes after companies that he thinks are easy to demonize, as opposed to really looking at those who might be taking an unfair advantage of the tax code to pay little or nothing.
Of course. Favored friends get a break and everyone else gets crushed. Congressman Schock,
sounds familiar.
It does. It's distressing. We appreciate your explanations. Thanks.